Can't get enough of Kelly and Ramya?
We're now on YouTube for you to indulge in highlights from our show.
Our very own Kim Thistle, community reporter, organized an exciting project to empower women in her community and raise money for Thrive, an organization that provides assistance for women in need. So in a photo shoot for a calendar fundraiser, Kim and 11 other remarkable women pose outdoors doing something that makes them feel powerful. Kim is joined right now by Angela Crockwell, director of Thrive, to tell us more about the project. So welcome to you both. And we're going to start with Angela. Can you introduce us to Thrive and what your organization does?
Sure. So we are a charitable organization in St. John's, Newfoundland. And as you said, we actually work with folks from all genders, but we certainly support a lot of very powerful women who have experienced marginalization. So we have programs specifically for individuals who may be experiencing domestic violence, human trafficking or sexual exploitation, and mental health and homelessness. So we work with women from 16 up. And so we are delighted to partner with Kim and other women to promote this calendar, both as a fundraiser for Thrive, but also as an inspiration of the powerful women in our community.
Yeah, it sounds highly influential, especially because it's not just one particular kind of hardship or marginalization. You've already listed several, parts to this, right? To what makes this story powerful, or how to empower others who might be going through something. So Kim, on that note, do you mind sharing your own journey of why you ended up, or how you ended up taking part in this initiative?
Sure. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
So glad to be back. And here's our calendar. I have to show it. So I'm very, very proud of this passion project. And how did it come about? Well, that's a great question. In 2022, I was leading into my 55th birthday in September. So I wanted to get photos. I call myself a warrior goddess. And, we had all just gone through COVID. I had just, separation and divorce. Life happening and just a whole bunch of different things. And I said, I'm ready now to, I want to have pictures for my 55th birthday. And I had met Jeff, actually. He's a photographer, Jeff Smith. He's awesome. He's primarily a wildlife photographer, but he does, obviously fabulous photos of people, of women. So we had met because he was going to be a pilot for my tandem bike. And he mentioned he was a photographer. And I said, well, would you be interested in doing photos for me? I want to be in that natural state. Let's do it, right? And he says, sure. Well, then in 2022, didn't have enough surprises left for me. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in April, actually the same day as I was heading into the funeral home, and my mom had passed away. So I was heading into the funeral home and I got the news that I had breast cancer. So life sort of, turned upside down. And after everything else I had just, we all went through and different things in life. So I went ahead with the photo shoot. I said, I'm still going to go do it. I feel like a warrior goddess. I want to put that out there for myself. So 3 months after my mastectomy, we did those photos in Labor Day weekend. So, and it was such a wonderful and empowering experience. And it was just for me saying that, yes, obviously I have vision loss and I have hearing loss, and now I have one boob. So I said, I'm still here and I'm strong and I'm powerful, and I want to, celebrate that. So that's how the photos came to. And then when we saw the images, and Jeff and I said, these are pretty good. And I'm sure there's other powerful women out there who wouldn't mind, let's figure out something that we can do to share this, to empower others. So that's how the calendar came about. And I'm so thrilled that we partnered with Thrive, because their mandate is fabulous. As Angela just said, youth and all ages, right on up from 16 up, and genders. So if we can do something to make a difference, and as I always say, every strong woman has a story.
Yes.
And thinking about, what your goals were in doing the photo shoot or in encouraging others to join you on this calendar project. I guess I'm wondering, like, what does it really mean to you? It must have been a way to almost not only like remove stigma about that journey you were going through, but kind of like regain some power and control over your own life too. Like, what kind of meaning did you take away from having a successful photo shoot like that during a really vulnerable moment in your life?
That's a good question, Grant. And it was a vulnerable thing. And I look back now and it's like, oh my goodness, I I certainly put it out there. And I guess that's part of me. You guys know me from AMI and community reporter and movie reviewer, and I can be a bit, I'm outgoing and energetic and things. So, and I didn't want that part of me to be gone after losing my breast, to breast cancer. So it was a very empowering thing. Is that, yeah, I have some, poor vision. I'm visually impaired, hearing impaired. I have one breast now, but I'm still me, and that's what I wanted to show, that I'm stronger now, I'm more powerful now, and I'm still here.
You picked Thrive. First of all, thank you so much for sharing your story, Kim. Like, really, we've known you for such a long time, and we know you're still you, and we love you for it. So tell us why you picked Thrive as your charity of choice to collaborate with.
And I think that's, as Angela just said, they help homelessness, domestic violence, they have mental health. There's an education program down there. I went and took a tour. I mean, it is a fabulous facility. They have a street reach program, an outreach program. And, we know that young people are struggling, and whether, young or old, there's issues and there's things that happen, and, we can help someone else. If we can do some good that can go into a really good program and support, we were proud, Jeff and I were proud to be a part of that. So, and it was looking around and trying to figure out what program or charity would meet the needs that we were looking for. And as I said, was, connecting with others, empowering others. And that's what Thrive does. And I went down and I took a tour, and it was so lovely meeting the individuals that work there. And it's obvious they're passionate about their work and the people that they support.
Now, we're not going to get to all the different photos in the calendar, but can you at least describe to us your scene and page of the calendar?
Okay, perfect. I laugh now because Jeff said, Kim, you're both a calendar girl and a cover girl. So that gets to that, so the cover of the photo is that me sitting on a rock. This was, there's a little waterfall there next to me. So it's all brown, it's dark color rocks, and I'm wearing a green a dress with just little straps and is off the shoulder. And it's a wraparound dress. It's a long green dress. And it's really, I thought it was a very feminine, but I felt it was my warrior goddess dress, that I'm part of nature and things like that. So that's the first photo. I'm sitting, and I have bare feet. So when you look in there, my little feet are, my little foot, not very little, is poking out. And the other photo is another very powerful one. That's September, which is my birthday month. And that's where I'm leaning up against the box, wearing the same outfit. It's a long gown, I guess it's the word that you call it, a dress. And I'm just smiling at the camera, and with the first photo and the waterfall up there. But I guess I should have added in this first, the cover photo is a very intense thing. Jeff said, just look at me and stare at me. So he felt that it was a very powerful photo, that it was a very intense gaze I had. And it was like, I don't know, it was more like, on me. This is it. And you see, what you see is what you get.
And I really appreciate how you described those, because I really do feel like I see it in my mind as we're showing the page up on screen, and really powerful and empowering. Throwing this to you, Angela, what feedback have you heard about this calendar that is going out to donors?
Yeah, so the uptake has been quite good. We've had a lot of people donate, and I think the message of powerful and empowering women has really resonated, and that's one of the things that makes this partnership with Thrive, I think, such a good one is even for the women that we support, although they may be in very vulnerable situations and they may be struggling, we always see them as very powerful women to be able to get up every day, continue to fight, continue to advocate for themselves, continue to figure out how they meet their basic needs. And while they may be struggling with some of the day-to-day living, they're unbelievably resilient and powerful women. So I think it's been such a great partnership to reinforce, you know, women and celebrate women, regardless of, for, Kim, who obviously identifies in the calendar as somebody who's a survivor of breast cancer. As you say, all women have stories. And so it's been a really great partnership to be able to celebrate women in our community, regardless of what their experiences have been. And we need to do more of celebrating women.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And what a legit reminder, right? That the women who are taking part are really reminding themselves as well that they're beautiful and they're strong. And, these stories are so impactful to go along with the photos. Angela, is there any other element to these calendars that we haven't touched on yet? Like there's the actual photos, obviously, but is there any captioning or messaging or something else from the physical calendars you'd like to throw to?
Yeah, so as part of the calendar in the back, there is actually a listing of community resources because of the work that we do often is about supporting people who are in vulnerable situations. So it will outline where people can go to get a community meal or a crisis line or shelter services. So it's not only these amazing, beautiful pictures of women, but is also a bit of a resource guide for folks who might need some community supports.
Okay, and sorry, do you mind describing what's on screen that we have, like, of the calendar?
Yeah, so again, you're seeing women in a variety of poses from a variety of backgrounds who are, every one of them chose how they wanted to be photographed and how in their community and in their lives that they're powerful and they're leaders in their community and they're contributing to their community. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, is to see women celebrated in such diverse ways.
Mm-hmm. And just for my own curiosity, was it different photographers and people, like teams, who were involved in the photography around the calendar as well and representing these women?
So my understanding, yes, you can.
Sorry, Angela. No,
No.
Jeff did all these photos. That's
Oh,
what I
okay,
just
great.
wanted to add, that this is Jeff. Jeff is a wildlife photographer and does phenomenal photos. But these photos of the women are like, wow. Like one of the photos was a lady sitting on her motorcycle and she looks like, real tough, but she's beautiful. And then another lady doing yoga and someone else using her wide angle lens, taking pictures in nature. Another beautiful woman, she's using her drum. She's a spiritual lady. And she has her drum standing with her drum. So it's all Jeff's photos, and that's what put together.
Okay.
So a lot of diversity there, and as you both have said, everyone has a story, especially minority groups such as women definitely have stories, and it's great to have this way of representing that while also making a difference as well. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much. Can I just say, if anyone would like to buy the calendar at the link, thrive.ca, would that be the place to make sure I do that right? And you get, for $20 donation, you get the calendar. So we really appreciate it. if everyone can support, and for such great work that Thrive does. So thank you so much.
And we will also put that in the show notes for the podcast. So if you're listening to this or want to go back, you can find that link in the show notes. Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for watching.
You can catch Kelly and Ramya weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on AMI.